So we're going to take a look at the blocking for Act 1, Scene 1, which is pages 1 through 5 up through the end of the opening number. And as we go through this, I'm going to point out some of the different movements of characters, but I'm going to be doing so with a laser pen. So the movements will eventually disappear. You might want to keep a pencil handy with you to mark yourself accordingly to know where you need to be. So at the beginning of the stage, as we've talked before, we've got our grids, we've got our quadrants, we've got our letters moving in order from A downstage to D upstage, and then from 1 on stage left to 4 on stage right. You're going to want to take note of those because you may be asked to stand on a specific line, right? B2, or you might be asked to stand in a quadrant, in which case you might be given a quadrant number to follow. At the beginning of the show, we have Rona front and center at the microphone. So Rona will begin here at the microphone, and it will be a blackout except for a single white spotlight on her. This is a flashback. We will have our ensemble members that are dedicated to this particular scene, dressed very generically so that they can serve either as a custodian or a student or whatever the need may be. But in this particular case, the ensemble members will in fact bring over a trophy to her. We'll assume that it is being held at a table over here that Rona will be working off of, and they will bring the trophy over to Rona standing here, center stage of the microphone. Once the light comes up, which is right after Rona says thank you, thank you, thank you, the same people will gather together, will take the trophy from her, will step off to the side. This will be the ensemble members doing this. And they will look like custodians who will in fact be sanitizing the trophy, wiping it down, and putting it back over at Rona's table. Rona will follow along with the ensemble behind them and come back to her space here at her table, and Chip will be coming in the door from stage left down here. Chip will stop between A and B on the third line. That is where Chip, you will begin coming in as you talk to Rona, and you'll come down and get kind of on a plane with her. Rona, you can kind of come back and be on a plane with Chip. Chip begins at the 25th annual, and he starts his singing, and Rona says, but it's very nice, very nice, very, very nice. At this point in time, Rona, you're kind of gesturing to Chip, who is then going to take and come over to your rehearsal box. Chip, at that point in time, you're going to take and open your rehearsal box where you will grab out your clipboard and pen and pretend to be filling out your registration form as you sit on your box. So you're definitely going to want to sit. Okay? From there, as you go off Chip here, Logan or Schwartzy, you're going to come in and pick up, resuming where Chip was standing upon your entry. And from there, Rona will make the announcement. It will be timed with the lines. So, and our youngest competitor, Logan Schwartz and Grubinier. And as you're coming in and doing this, Logan, you're going to be coming over here and then eventually coming to your spot here where you will do the same thing Chip is doing. You're going to take out that clipboard. You're going to fill out your registration form. And as you're coming in, and when Rona is saying your name, okay, Leaf, so maybe I need to go back and make it Schwartzy. So Schwartzy is going to come down here. Leaf is going to come back over here and stand on this box. And Leaf, your lines are going to read at the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Game B. I'll stand when they announce my name. Rona will be here and will announce Leaf's name and try to keep from shaking. Schwartzy, when Leaf finishes singing that line, you are going to then stand up, not on your box, but you're just going to stand and step forward as you sing your lines. You're going to stand and step forward. And then because it's a very big, very fraught, simple, but it's not, it's a very big undertaking. You are going to be taking and standing in that spot. Rona is actually going to make her way over here and be prepared for Barfay's entrance, where he's going to come here. So Rona and Barfay will meet each other down here, which will allow Schwartzy, will allow you to continue singing from down here, while Leaf is here standing on his box and Chip is sitting down. You might choose to come, Chip, actually, you might need to come down here a little bit. Like, we'll have to kind of figure that out. You might even need to just sort of step over here. Like, we'll need to do, that's kind of a question, where you need to stand, Chip, so that you can be seen during that bit of, because it's a very big, very fraught. We'll figure that out. And if needs be, you could also stand up on top of your box as well, okay? Leaf, you are then going to also be making sure you have your clipboard out, that you're filling out your registration form. And Barfay, as soon as you and Rona are done talking, you're going to need to make sure you get your clipboard out, but you are also taking and marking off your box with invisible tape as well. So you're going to need to make sure you do both of those pieces. How you want to work that or time that, we might need to try and figure it out. But just keep in mind that's what you're going to need to be doing after you give your statement to her. It's pronounced Barfay. There's an accent of you. You're going to need to make sure you're getting those pieces in. At which point, Rona, who is here, is going to turn and face for her next line. I'm not sure who this girl is. As Rona and Barfay are talking, Marcy, you're going to be coming in and you're going to be in place here so that when Rona is done talking to Barfay, she can turn and look and you're right there. And you'll just give your name, Marcy Park. Winner's Destination, Washington, D.C. Plasma TV. It's in a fancy hotel. Marcy, when they're singing those couple lines quick, you're going to rush to get out your clipboard and be holding on to that, filling that out, and looking up as you're singing. And then Rona is going to make her way here. Marcy, you're going to counter that and you're going to go into Olive's space because Olive isn't on stage right now. So that'll give Rona the chance to be here and to sing. And Marcy, you'll be the one going over by Olive's area. This will give each of you spellers, Schwartzy, Chip, Leaf, Marcy, you'll be here, Barfay here. This will give you all the chance to take and look in at Rona as she's singing so that you can show your interest, you can kind of take note of what's going on, and the spotlight will be on Rona. You will all have your clipboards in hand. You will all be filling out your registration forms or pretending that you're still doing that, and Rona will be finishing up her piece. Now, I've thought very long and hard about whether or not to give you some solid choreography that you're all doing together, but the reality of it is this particular number really emphasizes your individuality, and it really needs to be made known how each of you is unique. So to take and give you that uniform choreo would not do this song justice. I want you to really think about what you can put into place standing in your assigned boxes here or your assigned quadrants and decide how it is that you want yourself to be portrayed and start developing some of those characteristics in this number to showcase to the audience. Now, as Rona is done singing and you guys are kind of like all focused on her, Rona's going to start to make her way back over here, and Olive is going to come in this way. And as she talks to Barfay, and he says, I got this area marked off with invisible tape, Olive, you're going to take and just come back over here. As Rona goes off back to her space, Marcy, you'll have the time to come back here to your place as Olive is coming down to talk to Barfay. So it should be all spaced out correctly if it goes as planned. Now, we have Olive, you're going to take and you're going to do your clipboard piece. You're going to sit down and do that. Leaf, we've got the whole memorize the manual. This is where I think I'd like to take and give you guys the chance to stand up. You can hold your clipboards about how to spell these words. And we can do a little bit here that is kind of similar to each other, but again, not all in unison. So Leaf says at the 25th annual, and by this point, Leaf, you're not standing up on the box anymore, okay? You're down, you are same level as everybody else. But here is where you will stand back up. So at this point, Leaf, on your lines, at the 25th annual, we've memorized the manual, you're going to stand on your box. And Schwartzy is then going to stand, just stand in place. I mean, not stand on the box. I apologize. Leaf, you are just going to stand up. Okay, Schwartzy, you are going to stand up. Words that require thought, you, Barfay, are already or should already be standing. So we'll take and we will have Marcy stand with words that require thought. Chip, you're going to stand up on people think we're automatons, but that's exactly what we're not. So you can take and do some type of automaton move in your seat. Marcy, you are now going to stand on your box with we hear the word. Schwartzy, stand on your box, we breathe. Leaf, stand on your box, we wait. The remainder of you, Chip, Olive, Barfay, unlike idiots, we ideate. That's when you're all going to be standing up on that line. You're all going to be standing up on your boxes for that line. Rona, to ideate is to form an image or idea, to think. Now, Leaf, at the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, we're going to have Rona is going to come over here towards the center. She is going to then collect your registration form. So you're going to sing your line, Leaf, so that you are 12 feet away from her. Then you're going to come down and hand her your form. And then Schwartzy, we feel no animosity. So Leaf, you're going to have to go away from Schwartzy. Schwartzy, you're going to come in here and give Rona your form. Then Olive, yet our heads are spinning. You're going to drop off your form. Then you and Schwartzy's line is done. Barfay, Rona, you might cross over to Barfay to collect his. Okay? Just to change it up and give you a little bit of room. We are the slightest bit bizarre, but since the time is now, holy cow, we shall take a solemn vow to concentrate on winning. And at this point, you're going to take, and you're going to go back to your box. And I know, Chip, I don't think I mentioned you at any point in this. You're just going to be taking and getting your registration form down into Rona. The biggest piece that you guys have to keep in mind is you just have to pay attention to where each other is. And I tried to tag it in according to when somebody was singing, but Chip, you're going to want to make sure she's got your form. Maybe after she gets Barfay's form and she starts to make her way back this way, you can run down and give her your form. Meet her on the way back. But then once you get your form, you're going to need to go, or get your form handed in, you're going to need to go back to your box. you're going to need to return your clipboard. You're going to need to take out your spelling necklace, and you are going to, or your spelling number necklace, you're going to take that out, put that on, and then you're going to get into places. And the final piece of this is going to be you moving in a separate